Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another Basketball Wives review, so let's just get right into it. So the season finale of Basketball Wives season 12 actually ends up picking up with the aftermath of Jackie and Chantel's fight that happened at the very end of last week's episode, where Chantel ended up going to Jackie's room to have a conversation, and the conversation literally went nowhere. And so Jackie ended up asking Chantel to leave her room, and Chantel ended up turning back around to argue with Jackie. They were yelling things out at each other, and Jackie gets up to walk towards the door to open the door for Chantel to leave. Chantel pushes Jackie kind of into the wall, and Jackie ends up taking a swing at Chantel. After the fight between Jackie and Chantel, Chantel actually ended up going into the room where the other ladies on the show were at, and she starts telling them a half-truth. She tells them that Jackie hit her, and she shows them her broken pinky nail, and they start crying for her and talking really negatively about Jackie. And you know, Chantel conveniently forgot to mention that she actually pushed Jackie first, which is very manipulative to do. I feel like Chantel has showed that she can be very manipulative. So all the things that she says that are negative about her mother, she has actually displayed throughout this season. So, I mean, if Jackie is really that person, then Chantel gets it from her mother. And this is not a defense of Jackie as a mother, because we don't know how Jackie was as a mother. However, Chantel's behavior this season of the show was really disturbing and disgusting. And honestly, it was hard to watch and review this season because of all the scenes with Chantel in it. I just felt like she was doing entirely too much. And the other women on the show taking Chantel's side over Jackie's, I feel like they shouldn't have taken anybody's side, because nobody wins in this situation. I mean, Jackie and Chantel are a mother and daughter. Their relationship is tarnished right now. Who knows if they'll ever speak to each other again? And these women were not trying to help the situation. Honestly, they were helping fuel the whole thing. But a message ends up coming on the screen at the beginning of this episode saying that after the altercation between Jackie and Chantel, both Jackie and Chantel ended up leaving Hawaii before all the other ladies did. They went on separate flights, but they did end up leaving earlier than everybody else. Now, Ty, Jen, and Evelyn actually end up meeting up after the Hawaii trip, and Evelyn and Jennifer were really cordial with each other. Evelyn's face lit up when Jennifer walked in the room and she said hello to her, and it was just weird to me because they were just beefing the entire first half of this season, and we never saw the two of them make up with each other. So how are they all of a sudden cordial with each other? It's giving they decided to squash whatever issues they had to focus on the Chantel and Jackie drama, which really ruined this season for me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say this season wasn't a little bit entertaining. There was a lot of drama, but it wasn't drama that was enjoyable to watch. It was definitely hard to watch the scenes with Jackie and Chantel. It was just a lot. It like brought a lot of stress into my body watching those scenes of the two of them together. Ty does say that Jackie was wrong in that situation between her and Chantel in Hawaii, because obviously all she knows is that Chantel came in the room and told them that Jackie hit her. So obviously they're going to take her side, because if Jackie hit Chantel out of nowhere, then obviously they're going to side with the person who got hit, because they don't know the full story. And Jennifer does say that there's three sides to every story, and that's what I want people to understand, is that we know Chantel's side of the story, but we also don't know Jackie's side of the story, and honestly the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. And honestly, it's none of our business to know. Honestly, this situation between Jackie and Chantel shouldn't have ever been brought onto the show in the first place. I think it was really messy and it was nasty, because I don't feel like they would have done this to any other woman on this show. But because I don't think production and Shawnee like Jackie, I feel like that's the reason why they make every season about dragging her. Jennifer does end up going to meet with Jackie in this episode to check up on her, and Jackie was obviously acting like everything was okay, which I feel like is probably one of the issues that Chantel has with Jackie, is that something can happen, and instead of talking about it and trying to, you know, handle the situation right then and there, Jackie likes to brush it under the rug and act like nothing happened. And I feel like that's definitely something that Jackie does need to work on. I'm not gonna lie though, I did start cackling when Jackie ended up apologizing to Jennifer for throwing that stray at her in last week's episode by calling her long-headed. I thought that shit was so funny. I'm sorry. And I was glad that Jennifer was able to laugh it off, because those are the moments on Basketball Wives that a lot of the fans miss, because in the beginning of the show, it was really entertaining. The way these ladies would go back and forth with each other and have these quick, snappy comebacks were really entertaining, and I feel like they need to get back to that. But when Jennifer ended up asking Jackie what happened between her and Chantel and if they spoken to each other since Hawaii, Jackie immediately changed the subject and said that she was going to get ready for a date night with Doug. I feel like she just doesn't want to talk about this situation with these ladies. And I know it seems like Jackie is deflecting, because she is deflecting, but she's doing it on purpose, because she's told these women multiple different times this season that she doesn't want to talk about anything that has to do with Chantel. And I don't know if this is by choice or because Doug probably told her, look, don't talk about the kids or our family life on the show. I don't know what Doug says. I don't know if he's a part of anything, but I'm sure he knows what's going on. And he really doesn't like the drama. We saw that a couple of seasons ago when the ladies ended up coming to their house for dinner and Doug was not with the mess. So I feel like Jennifer, of all people, should understand why Jackie doesn't want to talk about her family business on the show, because Jennifer didn't like it when people were talking about her marriage to Christian. She shut that shit down immediately. She didn't want to talk about any of it. So I don't understand why she doesn't understand that Jackie doesn't want to talk about her relationship with her daughter on TV. Now, Jennifer did invite Jackie to her movie premiere that she's having because Jackie has a small cameo in the movie, but Jackie said that she was thinking about not going because she didn't want to be around certain people, but Jennifer said that Chantel and Evelyn would not be there. Jackie ended up asking if Brandy was coming, and then Jennifer said that she doesn't know, and Jackie immediately ended up saying that some guy called her phone up and told her that basically Brandy was asking him to come over to her house, and then basically Ming and Brandy have been hanging out with each other. So I feel like it was kind of implying that Brandy might be cheating on her husband, which I don't think is a big deal, because as many times as that man has cheated on Brandy, and he said this out of his own mouth, I wouldn't be surprised or mad at her if she did cheat on her husband. I do think that it was messy for Jackie to take something that somebody told her on a phone call to anybody within the group, but at the end of the day, she didn't say any of it was for sure. She just said that this is what the man was telling her on the phone, but she definitely had to know that by telling Jennifer, it was going to get out to everybody, because if you tell something to somebody within the group, it's going to get around to everybody. Now, it's the night of Jennifer's movie premiere, and Ty and Jackie end up showing up first, but then Ming ends up showing up and things get really awkward. But as soon as Ty ends up mentioning Chantel to Jackie, Jackie tells Ty that she has to go get some food, and then she completely disappears for the entire premiere. And then after the premiere was over, Jennifer ends up getting a text message from Jackie saying that she has the flu, which I thought was stupid that she even made up this flu excuse, because she was just right there. We know she doesn't have a flu. We know that she wasn't sick. She should have just told them that because her daughter was mentioned once again, she decided to leave. I don't feel like she has to say stupid stuff like she has the flu. She could have just told them that she left because, again, she said she didn't want to talk about her daughter, and her daughter was mentioned once again, which I don't understand why these women keep mentioning Chantel to Jackie when they know she's going to leave. And at this point, it seems like they're doing it on purpose because they know Jackie's going to walk out, and it does make Jackie look bad sometimes when she walks away from these conversations, because it looks like she's trying to avoid accountability. But I think that she's trying to avoid dragging her family even more on the show. When Jackie leaves, Jen ends up telling Ming about what Jackie said about her and Brandy possibly having threesomes with each other, and implying that Brandy might be cheating on her husband. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit annoyed at Jennifer for the way that she repeated what Jackie said, because she didn't tell the whole truth. She pretty much did what Chantel did about the whole pushing and hitting situation between her and Jackie. She told a half truth. She didn't tell that Jackie said a guy called her up telling her that Brandy invited him over and that Brandy and Ming have been spending a lot of time with each other doing stuff. She didn't tell the full story of what Jackie said. Jackie didn't even mention the word threesome, so I don't know why Jennifer said it that way. I just feel like I don't like when people play the game of telephone, because it gets back to the people the wrong way. I know Jackie was messy for even repeating what this guy told her on the phone anyway, but I feel like if Jennifer is going to tell the story, she should tell it the right way. But Ty and Ming start getting into this really heated argument with each other because Ty feels some type of way about Ming. I honestly think that Ty feels like Ming was leading her on and playing games with her, because one minute Ming is acting like she doesn't want anything to do with Ty, then the next minute she's being very flirtatious and all in her face. So I feel like Ty probably feels like Ming is playing games, but yet she has a tattoo of a guy's name on her, and Ty keeps asking her if that's her boyfriend, and Ming keeps saying no, but she has this man's name tattooed on her. Honestly, I kind of have been enjoying the drama between Ming and Ty because it's light drama. It's not serious drama that's over the top, but they were calling each other names. Like, they were definitely calling each other hoes and going back and forth with each other. It got really messy between the two of them. Ming is saying that she feels like Ty hasn't moved on. I feel like neither one of them has moved on, because there's very flirtatious energy between the two of them. I feel like something's going on between the two of them that we're not seeing on camera, and that's the reason why there's this tension between them two. Now, after the event, Ming actually ends up meeting up with Evelyn and Brandy, and she ends up telling them what Jackie said about the two of them having threesomes and that Brandy might be cheating on her husband. And Brandy seemed to laugh it off. I don't think she took it really seriously. I think that she thought it was stupid, because obviously we know that Brandy's not cheating on her husband, although none of us would blame her if she actually did. I mean, I think she should get a divorce, but that's just my opinion. So I don't think she really cared about that comment, but I did think that she thought it was messy. And it was messy because people call the lady ladies on Real Housewives of Atlanta too and start telling them tea on people on the cast, and then it gets out and then it becomes a whole storyline. So that messy shit happens on all these reality TV shows. Now, Brittany, Denise, and Chantel end up meeting up with Jennifer in this episode because they said that out of all the women in the group, she seems like the most mature and the one that's the least messy. And I'm confused as to why now all of a sudden they want to get to know Jennifer when the reason why they all had a problem with Brandy in Las Vegas is because Brandy invited Jennifer to come to the house. So they were judging Jennifer off of Evelyn's beef with Jennifer, not even trying to get to know Jennifer themselves. So I thought it was weird that now all of a sudden they want to try to get to know her. And I don't like that they're calling themselves the Big Three. I already have to deal with the Big Three on Baddies, and so I don't feel like reviewing another show where they're calling themselves the Big Three. But I don't feel like there's anything big about them. I feel like they've had very negative energy on the show. Like, the dark energy on the show this season was them three. Nobody else, just them three. They were the dark, draining energy on the show. And during this conversation, Brittany ends up telling Jennifer that she was only talking about Jackie and Evelyn when she said that the group was low vibrational, even though her, Denise, and Chantel have been the ones that have been low vibrational this season. Now, this is why I can understand why Jackie didn't want to tell Jennifer anything when Jennifer came to visit her earlier in the episode, because Jennifer obviously was going to go back and tell Chantel whatever it is that she said, and that's why Jackie didn't say anything to her. And so Jennifer starts telling Chantel that she met up with Jackie and Jackie was pretending like everything was okay and that her marriage was great. I don't know why Jennifer brought up, Jackie's marriage. I don't think it had anything to do with the conversation that they had, but whatever. And Chantel starts dragging Jackie and Doug's marriage. She starts saying that Jackie just wants people to think that her marriage is just fine and that it's perfect, but it's not. That's just what she wants people to see. But isn't that what everybody wants people to see? I mean, nobody really shows what really goes on in their household and behind closed doors, especially on social media and reality TV. We never really get to see the real. We see what they want us to see. So I don't understand why it's wrong for Jackie to not bring whatever issues her and Doug might be having on the show. I just think it's weird that it seems like she's rooting for her parents' marriage to end. Like, I understand that people's parents have issues in their relationships. I mean, my parents have been married for 32 years and they have issues in their marriage as well, but I would never be rooting for them to get a divorce. The only way that I would root for them to get a divorce is if they weren't happy with each other and that's what they really wanted. But for Chantel to bring that on the show, to me, was kind of weird. Like, none of the other women are showing what really goes on in their household, so I don't understand why Jackie has to break down all the walls in her life and show everybody what's really going on when nobody else is doing that either. I mean, Chantel didn't bring her husband on the show and start talking about her relationship with him, so why does she expect her mother to do that on the show? I just thought that was kind of weird, and this is why I don't feel like Chantel's issue with Jackie on the show has anything to do with any childhood trauma that she had. It seems like it's something else. Ming and Ty actually end up meeting up with Ming's mother, and Ming's mother seemed to be really cool, but what I got from this whole conversation was that Ming and Ty were toxic with each other. They were both lying to one another and cheating on each other and talking to other people, and now they're mad at each other for it, even though they both played a part, and why their relationship is no more. So that's basically what I took from this conversation. And this is why I say that Ming plays games with Ty, because during her event, Ming ended up having a hair event, that she was hosting, and she ended up calling somebody to come on stage so that she can straighten their hair out, and she picked Ty, and she was rubbing her fingers all through Ty's hair, and they were smiling and being very flirtatious with each other. And so I can understand where Ty's coming from, because Ming does seem to play a lot of head games. Like, one minute she seems like she wants to be around Ty, then the next minute she seems like she doesn't want anything to do with her. But after Ty's hair is finished getting done, Ming comes over to the rest of the group and she ends up asking where Jackie is, because Jackie actually ended up not showing up. And Chantel was basically saying that the energy was great in the room because Jackie was not there. And for a moment, she got scared a little bit because she thought Jackie was coming. She heard a voice that sounded like Jackie, and everybody kind of paused for a moment, but it wasn't Jackie. And Chantel basically said that her mother's not there, but she's there, and that's all that matters. And I honestly feel like Chantel wanted to take Jackie's spot on the show. I'm not saying that she doesn't have issues with Jackie as a mother when she was growing up, but I don't feel like that has anything to do with the way that Chantel was acting towards Jackie on the show. It seems like she really wanted her mother's spot. Because the comment that she made that she's here and Jackie isn't, and that's what counts, to me, it just kind of seemed a little bit weird the way that she said it. But Brandy actually ends up confronting Jennifer about the rumors she's been spreading about her cheating on her husband and allegedly having threesomes with Ming. And Jen basically threw it all on Jackie and said that Jackie was the one that made the comments. She wasn't the one who made the comments. And it's true, Jackie is the one that said it, but she didn't even tell the full story. Jackie didn't make it up. Some guy called her up and told her this information, and she told it to Jennifer. And Jennifer didn't didn't really say it the way that Jackie said it, because Jackie didn't mention a threesome or cheating on her husband. She said it in a way that kind of implied it, but she didn't actually come out and say it. So Jennifer added a little bit of sauce onto what Jackie said. But I can understand why Brandy was upset, because if Jennifer heard this information from Jackie, the first person that she should have contacted was Brandy and Ming, not go to all the other ladies in the group, and then it gets to Brandy from somebody else. So I can understand why Brandy was upset. However, Brandy doesn't really have a reason to be upset, because honestly, who cares if she really was cheating on her husband? Nobody would care. Actually, people would probably clap about that. But then Jen decides to take the heat off her, and she starts telling everybody that Brittany said that Jackie and Evelyn were the low vibrational ones in the group, and that's when Evelyn starts confronting Brittany. Evelyn starts saying that Brittany has been low vibrational, and it's true, Brittany has definitely been really low vibrational. I liked her the first season that she was on, but this season she has been completely different, and all of her energy is really dark. So I can understand where Evelyn was coming from, and Evelyn is not my favorite person, but the things that she was saying about Brittany to me was true about her being low vibrational. But Brittany ends up calling Evelyn a fake bitch, and again, I don't think that she's necessarily wrong for calling Evelyn fake. I wouldn't call her a bitch, but I would say that Evelyn definitely has some fake tendencies. So some of the things that they were saying about each other was true, and obviously that's based off of what I've seen from them on the show. I don't know them personally, so I don't know how they are off the show, but the way that they've acted on the show, this is what I'm getting from it. But Evelyn and Brittany start going back and forth, dragging each other. Evelyn ends up making a comment about how many men that Brittany has slept with, and Brittany said that can't nobody that's 50 years old doing OnlyFans talk to her, which I thought was kind of funny. Brittany kind of ate a little bit with that one. But Chantel ends up interjecting, and she gets involved and says, how did we get here? And that's when, you know, Evelyn kind of checks Chantel and tells her, who cares how we got here, just know that we're here. And then she ends up asking Chantel if Brittany's the type of person that she wants to attach herself to, and that's when Chantel started saying that Brittany actually is her friend, and Evelyn rolled her eyes in the back of her head, and I did too, because Brittany's not really Chantel's friend. I don't think that any of them are actually friends with each other. Brittany, Chantel, and Denise are trauma bonding. Well, I feel like Brittany and Chantel are trauma bonding, and then Denise is in the middle fueling the fire. So I just feel like it's not a genuine friendship, because to me, they're not trying to make each other better. They're just fueling the fire and the hate that they have inside of them for their mothers, and to me, that's not healthy. But I thought it was so funny when Evelyn ends up storming away and she says bye, and then the editors ended up editing Jackie walking the same way that Evelyn was walking. I thought it was really funny because it did look exactly the same. But I will say I do think that it's funny that Evelyn was able to walk away from the conflict that she had with Chantel and Brittany, and nobody said anything. But when Jackie walks away from situations, they all have something to say. This season was definitely a lot. It was pretty interesting. I do think that Chantel probably does have some issues with the way that Jackie was as a mother. Jackie definitely probably was not the perfect mother growing up and raising her children, but I will say I don't feel like that was Chantel's reasoning for coming on the show and going at Jackie the way that she did, because at the very beginning of this season, they seemed to be fine and cordial with each other. You can tell that Chantel was setting up boundaries with her mother, because it seems like Jackie has an issue with overstepping boundaries when it comes to her children. But other than that, I didn't see that they had any issues with each other. But Chantel was picking apart every little thing that Jackie did. Jackie was taking pictures of her son. She had an issue with it. Jackie told the ladies to talk about the elephant in the room when they all met up, and Chantel had an issue with it. Chantel made this whole season about her problems with Jackie, all because Jackie did not defend her the way that she wanted her to against Brandy, and I thought that that was stupid. There's clearly some deep-rooted issues that are going on in Jackie's family, but at the end of the day, I don't feel like this was the place for it to be talked about. I just think it was messy, and I feel like Chantel handled things completely wrong. I feel like whatever issue she had with her mother, she took it too far on this show. I feel like if she really wanted to try to work through whatever issues that she has from her childhood, she would go to therapy and try to work on those things for herself so that she can be a better person. And if Jackie doesn't change, then she just doesn't have to be a part of her life. But the way that Chantel handled things were wrong, and that's why I feel like her only reasoning for coming on this show is because she wanted to basically break her mom down in front of these women that she knows didn't like her. That's what it seemed like to me. She wanted to be the person from the inside that was able to bring her mother down on this show because nobody else on the show could have, and I feel like that's what she did. Hopefully at some point they can work things out, but until then, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Basketball Wives LA. Let me know what you guys thought about this down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.